Okay, so let me share my screen. So guys, basically what we're trying to do today is we want to actually go ahead and do SkySlope training and walking through, exactly the kind of things that you need to be more aware of. Now, this is, we're really doing this because Judy's got a deal that we're walking through, but also what I would like to do, Judy, is this. Stop me. If anybody has any question during this process, please ask. Stop at any point in time. Don't wait, till the end, because I want to try and make this as interactive as possible so it's easy for everybody. I don't have a clue what I'm doing, so let me try this. In the sense that I'm trying to share a screen, but it's not letting me. So if I go this route and I come back here, I should be able to know what I'm sharing. So let's see. Share screen. There we go. And everybody should see my screen now.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, I see it.
Good. So we're going to start from the very top. So what you're doing, Judy, and I'm going to try and breeze through it, because
yep, that's fine.
Yeah, so that way, but stop me if I'm going too fast or if you have any questions. So we're going to take it as you represent the buyer, right, Judy, and you're trying to create a transaction. So we go into create a transaction from this screen. Typically love to do it with address lookup. It's the best way to go. So let's pick 3506. I'm just going to pick an address that is on the top of my head because I know it, So we pick 3506. It's already sold. So I pick this property and I'm going to go through all of this, put all the information in there. We're going to put purchase price. We're going to put the source, however the source is. If it's a personal referral, if it's whatever that you get the source from. On your acceptance date, always put the date you're starting that deal. Otherwise, the system will not let you go through. So it does. I mean, you can always change that, but that's just what you want to do. You want to choose your checklist, your office, Maryland. Then your checklist. Who are you representing? Or is it a rental transaction? Is it a commercial sale? What county it is? So I'm going to go to Prince George's County sale because that's where this deal is. And I'm going to say who I'm representing, which is the purchaser. I'm just going to, I think it was 1991, something like that. We put that on there. Then you're going to, on your closing date, you're going to take your projected date. So we're going to assume 30 days from now. So we're going to go that route. Today is the 12th. We're going to close on the 11th or whatever date you want to close. When I click next, it's not going to let me go through because I need to put the MLS number in there. I'm not going to go back and look for it. You guys, I'm sure everybody knows how to get the MLS number from the MLS. I'm just going to pick a number. Then I'm going to click next. Then I'm going to get to my contacts. I'm going to put the information of the clients on there. I'm going to call this client. I'm going to go ahead and call this client test, just because of the fact that we want to make sure we're masking people's information. So I'm going to call this client test, and the last name is tester. And because I'm going to get them to sign documents, I'm going to put their email on there. So I'm going to just use my own personal email, oejimi1@gmail.com. So I'm going to use that. I'm not going to call them, so I don't need a phone number. I'm just going to leave it like that. If for any reason you have more than one seller, what you do is you scroll down to the bottom and you add new seller. Everybody seeing my screen so far? You can just give me a thumbs up or you can unmute yourself. Is everybody seeing my screen? Awesome. So if you have more than one seller, add the other seller down here by just clicking that. And I'm going to say test. Well, okay, I'm just going to say test 2, and last name is tester as well. Email, again, you can use the same email, or if they have different emails, you can use that. oejimi1@gmail.com. Pretty straightforward so far. You click save, then you scroll right back up, and then you get the purchaser's information. of course, the seller information, you're getting that from the MLS. We know that. The purchaser information, that is actually who I'm representing here. So I'm going to say buyer.
So Jimmy, this is where I have a question, right?
Yes, ma'am.
My purchaser she is the only one on the loan, but
Okay.
her husband, she wants him to go on the deed.
Okay.
So do I put both or do I just put her?
Also,
You broke up a little bit. You said
so we're
what?
going to do it right here. So since we, no, I said, yes, ma'am. That's exactly what you do. You're going to put them both in there. So this is your buyer. So you've gotten your buyer's information on there. Happens that, okay, well, the husband is going to be also on there. So we go purchaser, we go buyer too, you know. So you add the husband on there too, and we do report, yes. So you're going to add them both. And remember that, because what's going to be significant now will be when we do decide that when you're doing documents for every single thing to be signed, you do not necessarily need to have them both on, both of them signing, except, of course, let's say for some reason you have, enter phone number. Let's say for some reason you have, let's say your buyer, for example, did not tell you all of this when you started the process, right? They never told you that they wanted someone else to be on there, right? Until after the fact. Then you don't necessarily have to worry about it, but you can always come back again, add them to it, and you can take care of all of those things by a simple addendum.
Okay, so even though she's the only one getting the loan, he still has to, in order for him to be on the deed, he has to, I have to put an addendum in there because I did not do that.
I would recommend you do, because what you want to do is when you're doing any of these deals, right, you don't want the agent on the other side or any reason to come up and say, oh, you're changing the terms of your contract. So you want to advise with an addendum. So what I do normally is I'm going to go to another screen now, and hopefully you can see I'm logging into my zip forms. Can you all see that?
Yes.
Okay. So I go into zip forms. Instead of you having to do this whole process all over again, you can take care of every single thing with a single addendum. And you can pick an addendum. You can do a general addendum. You can do a blank addendum and write it on there. You can also do, where's my deals on transactions? You can also do, help me out here. I'm going to brain fart. You can do,
I don't know. I'm new to this.
You can do change in terms addendum. So y'all can see my zip forms right now, right?
Yes.
So I go here, I can do all, and I can just click on the change in status. So I'd start typing change and it should come up. Oh, change is spelled with a C, right?
Yep.
Not with an S. So change.
Change in terms, like?
Yes. Change in terms or change in status. So when I type in change, right, a bunch of all this change comes up. So look at PG. If it was a PG deal, I can just click this one that says change of status. Right? Let's add that form to it and let's see what that form looks like. So, oh, well, this one is listing status. This is not really what I need, but this is very similar. So I don't want this one. I want you to have the form that actually I'm just going to go to MAR. I'm going to go to MAR because I know I have that form in there. So you can just look for changing status.
Under MAR, I see change in terms addendum.
You see change in terms? Okay, perfect. So let me do change in terms. Change in terms, that's what we're looking for. MAR, change in terms addendum. So see this change in terms addendum, MAR? this is a form that actually you can use for if you need to change the listing price or the purchase price. You guys are negotiated. You all don't want to start going through crossing a bunch of stuff out on the contract. Even if you could use this before, you could use it during, it doesn't matter. So you can now pull out this form, you put all the information of the client in there, and just want to, my client won't mind, but I still want to take their names out of it.
Jimmy,
Sorry?
you said that this form can be used for change in price and also change in what else?
Yes, ma'am. So if you look right here, it says number one, purchase price. You can change the purchase price
Oh, okay.
from a certain dollar to another dollar. You can do settlement date if you're changing your settlement date. If you need to do a written application, let's say you put on your contract, you guys say it was going to be done in 10 days, but for whatever reason you couldn't get it done, or even if it's the financing contingency, we can change those terms here. Seller contribution, we didn't ask for it before, now we're asking for it. They want to give it, they don't want to give it, you can use it. The last one says other. So right here, the other is what you're going to use. So you can just simply type in here, buyer and seller agrees to have husband, or let's say you request, let's say you haven't even told the seller yet, right?
Mhm.
So you can just say, simply say, you can say, buyer will like to add husband on the deed and title only, right? You can do it like that. Now, remember this wording. This is also the wording you use if you were using a blank addendum or a general addendum. I like to do it like this. Buyer will like to add husband on the deed and title only. All terms of original contract remains in effect, right? So what you're doing by you saying this is simply saying, because you haven't discussed with the listing agent, now you're informing them, but you're letting them understand, this is what I want to do. We want to add the husband to it. We want to add the wife to it. We want to add the son to it. We want to add anybody to it. It's not going to change the terms of the original contract. We're still good the way we are. So that one informs them. It allows you to get immediate consent. And it also informs them that nothing's going to change. Nobody needs to panic. We're all good. Deal is still going to get done. Please don't fret. So once you do that, then you can save this, right? And then we're going to send this deal into, I actually want to make sure I get, I do want to send this into that deal. I do want to send it into this deal. So I just want to quickly run through this part just because I want us to get referral type, no referral, because I do want you to see this form when it gets to this deal. So, okay, perfect. So we have everything here. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go back into here. Now I'm going to save this. So this addendum is saved. And then,
so Jimmy, when I do that, you see at the top when it says addendum dated the date to contract itself between buyer, do I only add the person that I had originally, or do I add her and her husband there?
What part? Okay, you're talking about this
On the change in terms addendum.
Oh no, so you can make, because you haven't done, because you've never added them to it before, right? Mm-hmm. You can actually just leave it with that original person.
Okay.
Or, so you're not doing anything wrong either way. Or you can add both of them there. If you, the key thing just to remember is this: if you add both of them in this section where it says buyer, right? Mm-hmm. You must get both of them to sign.
Okay.
If it's only the buyer, if it's only the first person that was on the contract and everything that is on there, then she's the only person that signs.
Okay.
But that's a very good point that you made. Because you're doing change of terms, it might even actually be best. Personally, I love to do it like that now to get both people to sign. But it just depends on you. Sometimes, if you want to avoid confusion or whatever, you can just leave it as that person and only one person signs. But either way, it's not going to be any issue. Now you could come across, old school agent that's going to say, well, I need both of them to sign. So as a general rule, you can add both of them to it as a buyer and have, the seller's information on there and have both of them to sign.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can't go wrong either way. So there's nothing to panic about either way. And it's also easy if you send it one person and it comes back and the other person, the agent says, no, I have to have both of them. Big deal. Don't take it out. Just say, okay, no problem. I get it taken care of. And you can add that information in SkySlope easily as well.
Okay.
So let me quickly send this to our deal. So this is another section of where you can quickly learn here. So I'm going to pick this form that I want to send to SkySlope. I'm going to come up here to send. I'm going to send it by email. I'm going to look for my name. I'm going to click done. And I'm going to remove myself altogether because I don't want junk. I consider it junk. I don't want another email coming into my inbox. So I'm just going to send it directly to SkySlope.
Oh,
I'm just going to say addendum.
that would have made my life so much easier.
Yes, ma'am. So I do that. If you don't put a subject title, it's going to ask you, are you sure you want to send it? You can say yes, or you can put a subject title in there. So that's the way I send it directly to my SkySlope. Now, when I come to SkySlope and I come to documents, that folder I sent is going to come in a couple of minutes. There we are. So it's here. Because I've got so much junk in my signature, I'm going to get all this zip form plus photos, all this stuff. Every single time I send some from zip forms, all of this is going to happen. So I just click all of them and I move them. I know exactly where it is. I move them to trash. I get rid of all of them. This is what I just sent in. It's just going to say PDFS forms. It's never going to give it a title, but I know I just sent it in. So I want to rename it just real quick in case I've got a bunch of files in there, and I just call it change of terms. Change of terms addendum, ADD, and I say save. And once it saves it, I can click that. This is what we just sent in from SkySlope, from zip forms. So that's the form. So are we all good so far?
Yes.
Okay, just jumping right ahead. I know we're following the trail, but just jumping right ahead, I can take that form now, click on that section, click on DigiSign, and I can now right here assign who's signing what and all that. I know I jumped ahead, but I just wanted to show you that real quick because of something that I said earlier on that I want to make sure I follow up real quick. So I want Jimmy, who I am the agent. If I have something to sign, I click my name. If I don't, but I want to add a name, so I'm going to click myself. I'm going to send it to client. No, that's the seller. I'm going to send it to the buyer and the buyer's husband. I want both of them to sign, right? I want to send it to my title company, or I want to send it to the agent, right? Who I'm going to change that because I don't want it to go to this agent. So I'm going to put my name on there again. I want to send it to this agent, once my clients sign it. I want to send it to this agent, but I don't want this agent signing. So I'm going to click edit. I'm going to say receive a copy only, right? So now let's say also you forgot to add someone else's information on there. You can do it right here. Let's say I want to send it to Judy is a title company, and I want to send it to Judy. I'm going to type Judy's name in here. And if I've sent something to Judy before, she will come up. If I haven't sent anything to you before, I'm going to have to manually put it in there. Meaning if I've not sent anything to you in SkySlope, that is a deal, right? So I'm going to put Judy. I'm just going to, for speed, I'm just going, okay, that's Judy's information. That's Judy's email. I don't need Judy signing. I can assign Judy's the agent on the other side, or she's a title company. So I'm putting that information on there. And I don't need Judy to sign. I just want her to receive a copy. I do that as well. So once all of that is done, do whatever you need to do. We click on next. Now, I want to go ahead and assign where they're going to sign. Oh my gosh, I forgot. I never put the information in zip forms. Oh, no, don't lose your mind. Don't lose your cool. Not a problem. You can come right here, click writable, and you can put on there, start putting stuff that you want them to, that you want to put in there. I recommend that anytime you're having to write anything here, make sure you're the person doing it. Don't assign it to your buyer or to your seller or to anybody else. Because if you do, when they finish signing, you will have to go back in that deal and acknowledge it. And it could be annoying because you could be calling your client and say, you never sent it back to me. And they're like, I already finished. I already sent it. I don't know what you're talking about. You know, so that's the reason why I want to recommend that. Make sure that you assign it to yourself. So I'm going to say, okay, put all the information in there. Today is the 12th, so 10/12/2021. The buyer's name is buyer one bought, and a comma or whatever you want to do, or and buyer two bought. That's their names. I already put that on there. I can't spell, so please pardon me. And seller sold is the name of the seller on there. So boom, boom, I've done that. We are changing these terms over here. So I'm gonna get my checkbox. I'm gonna click checkbox on there, still assigning to myself, but now I do need to put my client's initials on there. So I'm gonna click over here for the first person, resize it because I don't want it to be too big, resize that. And then I'm gonna click buyer bought. Then the second buyer that is gonna initial, I want them there, and I'm gonna change it to buyer two bought, right? Then I'm gonna click their signatures as well. So this is buyer two, I'm gonna put them there. I can resize this too if I need to, you know. Then the same thing goes for buyer one, I'm gonna change it to that, and I wanna assign the dates for them. Perfect, done, done, and done. That's it on that. I don't necessarily have to do anything. Boom, all of that is done. Then I'm gonna click send. I'll put my instructions in there. Please sign, blah, blah, whatever I want to put in there. I click send for signature. It's gonna ask me, do I want to sign right now? I'm saying yes. I adopt my signature. I click agree. I start, and I just go through. Boom, 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 done, 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 submit. I'm gonna get it on the back end, or my buyers are gonna get it, and then they're gonna sign. Then it's gonna say, you know, and over here it's gonna tell you when you sent it, it's gonna let you know you're waiting for it to sign, right? And it's gonna let you know once it's completed. It just came into my email, so I can go into my email, I can open it up, and you know, they'll sign, and you know, it's gonna look exactly like that. The information is on there. They sign, and that person initials, that person signs, is done. You know, the other person, you know, the same thing. I mean, you kind of get the gist, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I go back in here, because I didn't finish signing everything, right? If you go, you see, it's going to tell me who I'm waiting for to sign. I'm still waiting for that person up there to sign. And once that person signs, it's going to say done. These are the two people who will receive, because they're not signing anything. Good so far?
Yep.
So now let's go back into that same deal. So we've gotten all the contacts filled out. We've gotten the commission part filled out. Then we're going to start doing checklists in a little bit later on. So let's get to documents. So what's your question now so far, Judy, especially?
So I didn't do any of the checklist stuff.
Okay.
Because some of it is I don't know what some of it is asking
Totally
for.
understand.
But I did upload my document. I uploaded some of my documents. So I uploaded the contract
Okay.
after everybody signed, and we put in, you know, the contract date. I uploaded the signed information from the escrow agent with all of that information on there.
Perfect.
And it was another, I'm in my
So basically, you already have all of your documents in there. You just need to do your checklist now, right?
Yes.
Okay. So question one, are there any documents that you need that you don't know where they are, or that you want to know how to get them? Any questions in regards to that?
So what in the checklist, it has a bunch of stuff that we need to attach. And so for number one, I know what that is because I actually just found it.
Okay.
But the number two, like the MLS shortlisting,
Okay,
what
good.
is that? We don't like, I don't know what that is.
Excellent. So I'm going to show you again the way I kind of do them. So I go into, you can see my MLS, guys, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So give me the address of the property.
It's 280.
280.
Why did I just draw it? St. Michael's Circle.
Okay. So 280 St. Michael's. Now, the moment I type in Saint, it's gone, it says 0 at the bottom. You can see that, right? The property is gone. And the reason is because it's either active under contract,
yeah,
or it's pending. So now that I click pending, the property shows up. So what I'm going to do now is I need to move this a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to now click on my results. The property shows up. So I click on that property, right? And what I do is I go all the way to the bottom. I click on where it says print.
Mm-hmm.
And you can either do agent full or you can just do agent one-liner. I love doing agent full because agent full tells me what commission is and all that, every single thing. So the agent can turn around and they go and change it behind your back.
Okay.
I'm not saying agents are going to do that. I'm not saying agents are dishonest, but I'm just saying be careful. So make sure you protect yourself. That's what it's all about. Okay. And I always do this at the beginning, not at the end. Meaning, once I create my folder in SkySlope, I know what deal we're getting. I actually print this MLS listing and I save it in the folder. So you go into print. So then I don't print it physically. I just do it as a saved as PDF. Then I click save, and I'm going to take the property address. I'm going to say 280. I can just say 280 MLS. That's all I need. And I click save, and I'm done with that. Then I'm going to come over here into the deal. I'm going to go to upload documents, and I'm going to find my 280 MLS. Double click that. It saves it in there. Let's grab a few more documents just for the purpose of when we want to start splitting things. I'm going to assume that this is the disclosure for the property. I'm going to add that to it. I'm going to find agent completion because we're going to need that. I'm going to take that. And
that's just the form that's
yes, ma'am.
That one that's for the broker, like once it's completed, right. We put that in there, right?
Yes, ma'am. So then, just for the sake of what we're trying to do, I just want a couple more, just a few more things. Let's put, I'm just stealing paperwork now, just for the sake of, what we're trying to do. It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna say, I'm trying to find something. Doesn't matter. Okay, so that's how you upload your documents, right? So all documents are uploaded. Now, let's go to your checklist. Actually, why don't we find, because this is actually, I need a little bit of a document. I need something else. So let me just say agency. I should have the client's agency here.
Oh yeah, I should put that in there too.
Let me just put agency and click agency there. So you've uploaded every single thing. Now you want to start assigning to your checklist. The thing about checklist is it's going to show you every single thing in red are the things that you need to upload. There may be instances that something is in red that you don't need. For example, this particular house, we said it was built in 1991. Mm-hmm. The system, because it's a PG deal or because it's a Maryland deal, 9 out of 10 times is going to tell you that you need the lead-based paint. Well, guess what? It was built after 1978. So I'm just going to click on there. I'm going to either say not applicable, or I'm just going to click NA and I'm going to save. I don't need that. The same thing goes for the Maryland lead poisoning. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say NA because I don't need that. Those two things I don't need. let's assume that for all intents and purposes, this property does not, okay, I don't need to worry about that because I thought maybe he selected it. Let's say it doesn't have, let's say there's no HOA and it's telling you you need one, you do the same thing. Let's say there is an HOA, but he's not telling you that you need it. You need to make sure you attach that to it. Make sense?
Okay.
So, so you have those two things that's already on there. Now, I go back to my documents. Maybe what I should have done also is attach a contract because it's easier for us to also see. Let me see if I have anything that's a contract. I don't have any contract. Ah, wait, I should have something here. Ratified.
And also, Jimmy, another thing that when I first met them, they wanted to rent, talked them into buying, and before they even got their before they went through the process of obtaining financing and stuff like that, we assumed that both of them would go on to the finance part, but it was easier for her to just do it by herself. And I had both of them sign the agreement, like the buyer representation agreement. So is that okay too?
That's perfectly okay. Yeah, you don't need to change anything about that. Yeah, that's okay. And in that case, good thing that you mentioned that. Because of that, do you know what I will do? I would actually have them both sign. I will have both their names on the change in terms addendum.
Okay.
Yeah, because you already have both their information on there. Now, look at something I just quickly did over here. Let's say you had a deal that ended up canceling, you all could not close on it or whatever the case is, and then you cancel that deal, and now you start another deal for the same clients. You can go into the old deal and you can transfer documents from that old file into your new file.
Okay.
And that's kind of like what I'm doing right now. So again, I just went into a cancel transaction and I'm saying, okay, I just want you to send the agency agreement or the contract or whatever, anything I need, I just put it right here. In fact, I can just go see at the bottom, I say ratify contract. I'm taking the ratified contract for this client. Let's say I want their financing addendum. I take that. I want the wiring fraud that they've already signed before. All these documents that we've already had before, I want them now. So I can just take everything, put it in the new email for the new deal, put it right there, and I just send it. So once the message you try to send is larger, okay, so if it's too large, it's not gonna, so let's remove, I got way too much stuff in there. Let's just remove so it doesn't hold us up on what we're trying to do. So I click send, boom, email sent successfully. I can go back to my transactions. This is the deal right here. I can go back to documents, and what I just sent tells me exactly agency, warranty. He has all that information on there. If for any reason did I get a contract? No, I never did. So I wanted a contract. So let's go back to transactions and let me get a contract from a canceled deal. So I come here and let's grab a contract of sale. And we're just going to email that contract of sale into the deal, and voila, momentarily, we go back here and we should have that in there. It should be in there now, or it should be in there in a couple of seconds. Okay, it's gonna come in a minute. My system is a little bit slow. There you go, contract of sale. So now you have everything here pretty much that you need. So let's now let's start splitting documents into checklists, right? This is the part that you wanted to know. Did I lose anybody so far, or we all in one accord and everybody's still following? Are we still good? Awesome.
Yes.
Thumbs up. Perfect. Excellent. Excellent. So awesome. 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 So we click on the document, you click on the checkbox, then you go to where it says split. And once you click split, then this screen comes up. And this is where you begin to, break documents up. So you can, when you first start, for you to get so proficient, you can decide that you can just go to where your checklist is and you can copy down the names of all the documents that you want. After a few practice, you're gonna be so used to it, you're gonna know. And so it's just gonna come to you. So if you want to, you can copy it and do it that way, or you can just say, okay, what's this document? This is a pre-approval letter. If you just want to guess, I know there's no pre-approval letter in there, but you can just say pre. When you do that, anything that starts with pre comes up, there's no pre-approval letter, so you don't need to worry about it, right? So that's kind of like how you're probably going to end up getting used to a lot of things. But for the sake of time, and because I know what we're looking for, I'm just going to start, typing the things that I want. So we need residential contract of sale. You can either start saying residential. If it's there, it comes up. If it's not, you can scroll through it. You can find it, or you can just, if residential doesn't pop it at all, you can just say, oh, well, what's the other thing that it could be? Contract of sale. So you start typing contract, it comes up. Contract of sale, you click on there. Contract of sale starts from page 2. Are we all seeing that?
Yeah.
Everybody see that so far? Okay. So I'm going to start page 2. Then I'm going to scroll through to find out the last page for the contract of sale. And the last page for contract of sale is this page right here, where you have the agent's information. So contract of sale will be from page 2 to page 12. That's how you begin to assign documents.
Okay.
Then the next document is, this one says conventional financing. You can start typing conventional. I already know that there's not going to be conventional, it's just going to be financing addendum. So I'm just going to type FIN, and there you go, financing addendum. So I'm going to click that. Financing addendum starts from page 13 to page 14. So I do that. Then I go to the next one. This is the Maryland residential property disclosure. I can just say disclose. If I just say disclose, it's going to come up with sign disclosure, cooperative. I can just scroll through and I see MD property disclosure. After a while, you start getting so used to it that you can just start typing, you can just say MD, boom, and it comes up, right? So because you just get used to the documents that you want. So that starts on page 15 and it goes all the way to page 18. So I'm going to go 18. Let's say for the sake of argument, this one is not there and you keep going. Okay, so this one says Prince George's County, I call it DNA. I've gotten used to it, so I just say, I can just start DNA. You can say DNA, oh, it doesn't come up. Well, okay, guess what? Oh, but you can start with D and you can scroll through and find it, or you can just go county. If you do county, that would be a term that you're going to actually end up using a lot more. County, then it comes up, PG County disclosure and notice addendum. That's what this is. If you're not sure, I'm not just assuming it. Let me just click this. Make it a little bit bigger so you can see. See how it says Prince George's County DNA. Disclosure and notice addendum. So that's what you're looking for. Okay. Good so far. So that starts on page 9. It starts on page 20. And that should be about 4 or so pages. And that will end in page 24. So we get the idea so far?
Yes. Because I thought I had to go in here and literally break apart this contract myself.
No. So this is how you do it. So let's do one more. Notice. We're going to just say notice, because we look for a notice to buyer, and this is it right here. Notice to buyer and seller MD property disclosures. That's the one we want. It starts on page 25 and it ends in page 26. So now, for sake of time and for the purpose of what we're doing, so as we found, we've assigned all the forms, then you're going to click split and assign. Once you click split and assign, it's going to assign everything, pull them aside, and then it's done. It says, do you want to go back to documents or you want to go to checklist? Let's go to checklist because we want to see what we've done. So what we've assigned is going to say in review on any document that you've assigned. Oh, wow, I see all these documents were assigned. Then you can now, you can go back and start getting them. Another trick. If you don't have any form attached to anything else, another trick you could do is right here where it says MLS shortlisting, I can just click attach because I know that's the only document that I uploaded, right? So I can come down here, I can say 280 MLS. I click assign, and it's going to assign it to that. And I can come back, it takes me right back to checklist. So I say, oh, okay. By agency agreement, if that's the only one by itself, I can do the same thing, right? And that's what's going to go for each and every one. Once all of this is finished, as in you have assigned and attached everything to the checklist, until all of that is done, you do not assign your agency completion form or your agent completion form. So for the sake of argument, we're going to say, okay, everything is done. So you assign your agent completion form.
Can you open that one, Jimmy? So I make
Absolutely.
sure I know what I'm thinking
Absolutely.
it is.
I can open it right here, matter of fact. And that's what
Okay, yeah. That's the one.
This is what the form looks like. This is the form. Once everyone, even while it's still in review, the moment you've assigned everything to your checklist, then you can click the agent completion. You can add the agent completion form. Don't add it before, because if you do, it's going to delay the transaction coordinator in SkySlope or the transaction Victoria and a great team to actually be able to, complete your file. It delays, the process because you're saying you finished something that you haven't finished. So
Okay.
what they'll do is once they go in there and they review it, if it's not completed, they're going to just go back and you're going to see a bunch of reds, and then they're going to put notes. They're actually going to put notes on the side of everything to tell you what's missing and all that kind of stuff. I mean, they're so good and so great at that. But I don't ever want to attach that until it's done. If for any reason you realize, okay, you mess up, you can just click the X and it's going to remove that form, and then it puts it back, in required.
Jimmy,
Sorry, go on.
Where is that form located at?
So the agent completion form, you can actually get it. Let's go back here. I'll show you where you find it. If you click, while you're in your SkySlope, if you click on the eXp Realty logo, it takes you back to this beginning screen. At the bottom right-hand corner, you're going to see where it says working documents.
Mm-hmm.
Click on working documents. You're going to have your personal documents and your office docs. In your office docs, depending on how many jurisdictions you have, you'll have Maryland, DC, any other jurisdiction that you're affiliated with. And you can go into the Maryland one, and you can actually go, you don't even necessarily, you should be able to see it right here. You should just agent completion. If it's not there, let's go to, I'm just going to click on GCOR, and we probably say addendum, agent is not here. It will be here. It will be in one of these files here. This is where I got it from. I'm so certain of it. If I don't find it, guess what? It means I'm going to be sending it to you. Let's look in the MER, agent completion. Your open house disclosure form is here. So I'm shocked. So this one, if you want to print this, it's in there. For if you're doing open houses, I'm kind of like shocked that I can't find the agent completion addendum.
I found it on the Trello board for Maryland.
Perfect. Yeah, it is on the Trello board, but I can definitely email it to you as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, does everybody want it? Who wants it?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, you can email it to me too.
Okay.
Because I don't have it saved, but.
Well, guess what? I'm gonna email it to everybody.
Yeah.
So, so what you need to do is you just keep that. I saved that form in my, I just saved it in my folder, just in one of my disclosures is there. Another form that you probably want to save, maybe your escrow deposit. No, that's the wrong form. So no, please don't save that one. No. So act like as if you never saw what I just did. So, but yes. So the forms will be here. They should be here. But I will. Oh, there you go. It's in DC. Agent completion doc. It's in DC. So you all see that? So it is right here. So it is. I have it in my DC. But again, I promise you, I will email it to everybody. So I already have it. I don't know why I'm even saying it again. Agent completion. Okay, so I will email it to everybody once at the end of this training. So that's where, if you've been looking for forms that you can't find a jurisdictional form or anything like that, come into your office docs and you will find those documents in there, you know. So that's always a good thing. I use my personal docs if I'm just creating a folder for someone. If I want, you know, agency agreement and things like that, I can start it right here, and then it ends up being a deal. So let's go back into the deal. Where is it? 3506. So any questions so far on this?
No, not from me. You cleared up a lot of confusion on how I was going to get these documents in here.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so that's how you get it. You just go into your docs and you just start to peel it off. You click on whatever folder that you want to divide up, and then you just go in there and you click split, and this screen comes up and you begin to, oh, I want to get my understanding, and you just begin to do that, start typing it in, and boom, how many pages is the one that you want to put in there? The first 2 pages. So that's how you break everything up and you add it to it. And once you finish, you can go to docs, or you can go to checklist, you know, to see what you've done, what do I have that is missing, get those information and add them to it. Once you've finished all of that, the other form I'm actually going to, another form that you do need, so let me make a note of this. I'm going to send you agent completion. I'm also going to send you the affiliated business.
Okay.
I recommend that you make it a practice that you always send every single, it doesn't matter whether you represent a buyer, a seller, or a renter, always attach your affiliated business addendum to all of your agency agreement. Make it a practice. Wiring fraud, that's another one. Make it a practice to always attach your affiliated business and your wiring fraud to every agency agreement that you're doing. Once all of that is done, then you're done. You're good. Then they'll review it, and once it's reviewed, you always want to see numbers like this that says only 2. Are you still seeing my SkySlope?
Yes.
Okay, so you always want to see where it says 2. That means you're ready to get to closing. Just to give you an idea, let's open this deal up. This is not going to happen until next year. It might be in December, but typically next year. It's a new build. So when you come to the checklist, everything is completed. All of these documents right here, to be honest with you, has nothing to do with me per se, because we're not going to get a closing disclosure or the auto statement or copy of EXP commission check or any of those. There's no referral agreement or W-9, there's none of that. But we're not going to get any of those until we get to a couple of days to closing. So actually, I can put on there, I can complete this file. Oh, sorry. You see, I'm thinking of something. Well, I cannot complete this file because I still need the tax record. But because it's a new bill, I don't have that information because it's not available yet. So maybe a week or 2 weeks to closing is when I'll get it, then I'll attach that to it. So let's look at another deal. This one, if you go into the checklist, everything is done. I think in fact, I've already attached that, and this is what you're looking for. You're looking for it to say approved by Victoria Grace. Okay, you're looking for someone to say approved. That's when every single thing will be green. So the only two documents you're waiting for is the signing disclosure, which the title company will give you at settlement, and a copy of your EXP check. Depending on what title company you use, you want them to give you, because Maryland, you're allowed to do that. You want your title company to give you the check at the closing table, even though it includes the EXP's check. If you take that check and you get back to your home computer or on your phone.
No, I'm warming up. I'm sorry.
Sorry, no, go on. No, go on. Judy, you have a question, go on.
I've been before. Yeah, so you know that document that you were saying about the wiring fraud?
Yes.
So I had my client sign the consumer notice to buyers of residential real estate in Maryland, and it has like all of the stuff on it, like covenants running with the land, deed restriction leases, deposits held by escrow agent, and the wiring fraud through emails, stuff on there that I had them sign.
Okay.
Does that suffice for that, or should I have them sign the other one?
I would recommend, I mean, if he has the EXP wire fraud on there, yes.
It's the I guess it's a Maryland
one. Yeah, it's the Maryland one. I would recommend as a habit, get him to sign the one from EXP.
Okay, and is that in the documents that,
yes.
Office documents?
It's in the office documents, but that's the other document I promise you that I'm going to email to you.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, get them to do the EXP one. You know, it's just another level to protect you in case, because one thing about documents, especially with the MAR or G card, they change. This is October, right? Yeah. So some of the documents have changed before. Some of those things may not even be on there. So they change often, and you might be so used to certain things that you go quick that you might not pay attention that they may have removed that or whatever the case is. So yes, always do that. Yeah. So this will be the only two documents you do. I don't have any control on this until we get to closing. Oh, what I was also saying was this. In Maryland, when you get to settlement, you can pick up your EXP check and your commission check. Get it from your title company, and you can scan it on your computer, or you can take a picture of it on your cell phone and scan it inside the deal, scan it and attach it to the deal. Because the moment you do that, they can quickly close your file, and you'll be surprised that you'll get paid the following day. The money will show up in your account the following day if you're doing direct deposit. EXP does not want you to have your money sitting down with them for a long time. They want to make sure that you get your money right on time.
Okay, so we would just get a copy from the title company and upload it?
Yes, ma'am.
And then they will send the actual physical check to EXP?
Yes, yes. But
Jimmy, can I ask you a question about that?
Yeah.
So I actually just closed, and the title company was kind of being difficult as far as like giving me a copy. So they actually did not give me a copy of the check at all, and they sent it straight to EXP. So it ended up taking a while. So is this common for, them not to give you a copy of the check?
It's not common. I'm standing up because I want to show you something. No, it's not. But what it actually is a lot of title companies, that's why I like to use title companies that are easy, flexible, that I can talk to, that they're not going to treat me like as if, they don't care about my business, right? Some of them, they just new, or they just are set in their ways, right? But you can tell them, and now some of them will also say this to you: oh no, we don't have it in the file, that we have to give it to you. It's the state of Maryland. You can get your check at the closing table. So one of the things that I'll recommend you do is, the moment you identify a title company that you're going to use, build a good enough rapport with them, send them an email and say, by the way, I want to pick up my check. I want to pick up the commission check at the table. Say it to them, because if you don't close your file on time, it's just going to be a big red sign that says expired on your folder. I don't like that personally. I like things being structured. So things like that aggravate me. But yes, make it a point to let them know that, no, you want to pick up that check. And to make a point of it, this is a FedEx package that you know is been at my door. The title companies that I use, most of them, they'll always mail me the entire package in my house. And I tell them you don't need to. I've already been paid, but this is the check. This is the check. This is the altar. I don't even need to send none of this to EXP because guess what? The title company emailed me these documents. They even emailed me the copy of the check, and I scanned it to my deal, and the deal was closed. So I really don't need to send this to EXP any longer.
So how did EXP get the money?
Because the moment they receive this is in your folder. The moment you scan this check to them, it goes into your deal. The deal is closed. They'll receive that. And they electronically draft the check.
Okay, so they electronically drafted.
To give you an idea, let me show you. Correct. So let's go into a deal that is closed so we can see, so you can see access archives. So because all it is we live in, you know, in the electronic age. So, and it's kind of like one of the things that really aggravates me, that we're still killing all these trees. I mean, we're saying we're trying to make things efficient, but everybody still prints so much paper, right? I don't understand. But so if you go into this checklist, this is what happens. The moment I get that information, I just scan everything to EXP. And this is the copy of the check. This is what goes in the system. That's exactly what they see. They see that, and I have the physical check here anyways. But that goes in there, is no different from that, and boom, it's done. And I just pile everything, I save everything. If EXP ever says to me, oh, there's an issue, we're trying to find the check, we can easily track it. Or if they want it, I can mail it to them, but you don't need to. You really don't. It's, you know, it's.
Okay, so I need to tell my closing agent that I want the check at the table, and then I'll just scan it into the system and just hold on to the check just in case EXP requests it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You know, or let's say, you know, afterwards, let's say something happens and say, we want to see the physical check. Yeah. But I don't, you know, I scan it and I keep all the checks.
Okay.
I scan it and it's just sitting there. Nobody has any use for it. I'm not going to deposit it in my bank account because the money is wired straight into my bank account.
Mm-hmm.
So I just leave, I'm saving money by mailing anything. The reason why I also want to recommend that you do that is because title companies have a tendency of, they're used to an address that they mail everything to, and it goes to the wrong address.
Yeah, that's what Lisa was saying. Lisa.
Yep. Exactly. And then, you know, in your case, Destiny, you're waiting for a week to get paid. EXP wants to pay you, but they can't because now everybody is trying to find the check. Then you're having a difficulty with the title company telling you, we mailed it, we don't know what the check number is, we don't know what this is. They're giving you a hard time. So you have a control on there. Say, okay, I want the check, I want the commission check. I need the commission check. I need you to give me the signed altar and the commission check to EXP, and I send it to EXP. If they're saying to you that, no, we don't want to do that, I say to them, yes, you can. My broker agrees and allows me to. If for any reason they insisting on mailing it to them, make sure you get them the correct address for them to mail your check to. You will be surprised how many times they've mailed commission checks to the National Harbor Office, wrong address. Our office at the harbor is not where they need to mail your check to. But if it goes there, that's at least a 3-day delay before we get those checks. So.
Oh, and then I think they just sent out the new address for mailing checks today.
Yeah.
So I did see that.
So those are, so if they insist on doing that, give them that address, because guess what? As long as it goes to the correct address, EXP will be able to get you your money in no time. But you are actually in control, and you have a better shot of getting paid quicker if you get them to give you those information. And 99% of title companies will give you this information. They're not going to hold you for forever. They'll give you the signed alter, and they'll give you the commission check.
Okay.
Did this help at all? Were we able to accomplish the things that you set out to accomplish this evening? I've got to delete this deal.
Yes.
Yes.
For me, yes.
Okay.
Yes, thank
Anybody
you so
else?
much. Thank you.
Let me cancel this transaction before they start telling me. I'm just gonna say training. Before they start saying, hey, I need to complete the folder, so I need to get rid of that. Perfect. So I think we did good. Oh my gosh, what's my time? I am awesome, almost.
Well, Jimmy, when you're done, can you send this recording to me?
Yes. Because it takes time for this recording to actually download,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like such a, I don't want to say that, such a pain. So what I do is he uploads straight, once it finishes download, he uploads straight to my YouTube channel. So so you can go to the YouTube channel and get it, but I will try. I'm not making promises. I will try, because I could easily get sidetracked. I will try and send it to you as well.
Okay, sounds great.
Yeah, but please, if you don't get it, please don't be upset. Just go to my YouTube channel and you can watch it, or you can click and copy the link. You can just copy the link and you'll be able to watch it.
Okay.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you, Jimmy. Really
You
appreciate you going over this.
It's my
Amazing.
pleasure.
Thank you so much.
You guys are absolutely welcome. So this is kind of like the way I love to do the trainings. If you have questions, text them to me. Let me know, and we go through it. And like I said, and I seriously mean this, guys, let me know if you have any questions or anything